Hey, my name is Nico. I grew up in the Hasidic Jewish community in Brooklyn. Before we start, I just want to say thanks for all the support, messages, and comments. Really appreciate it. This video is a day inside Hasidic life, routines and rules. So yeah, let's get into it. Good morning. So let's start by getting dressed. So we have a strict dress code. That's the only thing we can wear. We wear it every day. It's like prison, you know? You have a certain dress you have to wear every day. There's no jeans, shorts, no colors, no t-shirts. Just, I'll show you. So let's start with the shirt. This is the only thing we can wear. It's a white button-down shirt. And one more thing, it's the shirt has to be right on left, meaning the buttons has to be on the left side. You have to close it right on left, because the non-Jewish people, like the regular button-down shirts, are left on right. So we have to be different. Okay, shirt. Now the pants. As I told you, no jeans, shorts, no colors, just black, wool or cotton pants, just the regular. Now we got the tzitzis. It's made out of wool. It has 4 corners, and every corner has 8 like strings. There's knots and strings on it, so it's a little dirty. Yeah, look, like a real Hasidic Jew. Yeah. Next we got the suit. So got this, like a long suit coat. It's not like a coat that you take off once you go inside or whatever. It just stays on a whole day. Shoes. No, we cannot have any sneakers or colored shoes, just regular black dress shoes. Then we have the kippah. It's like a head cover, and you basically wear it all day and night. It doesn't come off your head. And now for the final touch, we got the hat. It's called a beaver hat. It's made out of beaver fur. Yeah, so this is the Hasidic drip. Next up is usually style your hair, shave. In the Hasidic community, you have to shave your head. No hairstyles can have long hair, but you leave on the sides. You shave your head except the 2 sides. You leave it here, and they have like side curls. I'll put up a picture. But that's the only place in your body you can shave. We're not allowed to shave the beards or anything below, like not even the chest hair or anything down there. Just you shave your head, side curls, and you have to leave everything else. That's why you'll see most Hasidic Jews have like really long beards. And yeah, they kind of look like grizzly bears. You can't shave anything down there. Mikvah, I would say, looks kinda like a spa. You go there every morning before prayers. You go on mikvah for spiritual purification. It's like meant to clean your soul. In the Hasidic community, you start to go on mikvah when you're 13. As I explained in the previous video, in Judaism you become an adult like once you turn 13. So the mikveh looks like this. I'll put up a picture so you can see there's a area where you get undressed. And then there's the showers, and in the middle you can see the mikveh pool. Every mikveh has a different setup. Yeah, this is actually one of the like nicer ones. After you get undressed, you go in the shower, or at least I hope so. Then you go into the like mikveh pool. So it's a small, like heated pool. Like there's enough space for a few people at a time, and you have to like dip in your head into the water like I think 3 times. So as you can imagine, it's a room with a lot of people from minors, so like 13-year-olds to like 70-year-olds. So it's a prime area for like sick people to come and do not good stuff. It's like molestation capital, because if you have minors and adults walking around nude together, waiting in line for shower and go together like in a small pool, things happen. It actually has gotten like much better over the last few years, because people started making noise, like stuff happens, so they started to put in like cameras in every mikvah, so people should be afraid to do stuff. Okay, so after you're done doing the good stuff, go up to the synagogue. The synagogue and every other like Hasidic gathering, wedding, whatever, is always divided. The men and women are always separate. So a synagogue is usually the main floor are the men, and the women are on a gallery. So let's get to the prayers. Before we start, there's a thing called a gato. It's a black silk belt, and the point of a gato is that it has to separate the heart from the private areas, because they say the heart is not allowed to see the private parts while praying, whatever that means. Got this, just put it around. So prayers, we pray 3 times a day, every day. The main prayer is the morning prayer. It's about an hour. Then we have evening prayer and a night prayer. The evening and night prayers are much shorter. It's like 15 minutes each. So before we start the morning prayers, we put on tefillin. This is my tefillin bag. So this is tefillin. It's 2 black boxes. It has like a Bible verse inside, I'm not sure. With like straps. One goes on the hand, on the biceps, and then you wrap it around. Like everyone does it a little differently, but I'll do it like how I did it. Goes 3 times. You wrap it around 7 times here. Fingers around. So this is the one. The next one goes on the forehead, but it has to be like in between the eyes. So basically like that. So wear this while praying, like it's only for the morning prayers. So I just want to like show you some of the prayers we say. Just a few. So we start by like 10 to 15 thank yous. We thank God for different things. So the second thank you we say is we thank God that He has not made me a Gentile. Shalom Sani Goy. The next one is that He has not made me a slave. And then next is we thank God that He has not made me a woman. Some interesting things. Then we have, it's called Shemona Esrei. It's more the end of the prayers. This is like the highlight of the prayers. It's 18 like blessing prayers, whatever. Yeah, so this one is kind of a curse. We curse a few people here. It starts by, I'll translate it. V'la malshinam al tisigvu. A malshin means informer. So we say that there shall be no hope for the informers. That's okay, that's understandable. Next we say v'chol aminim krega vaydi. A mean means a Jew who left Judaism and he doesn't believe in God anymore. So we say that all the minim, all the Jewish people who left, who don't believe in God anymore, they should be destroyed. And all the enemies of your people means everyone who doesn't like the Jews. Mahayru Karaisi means they should die prematurely. At the end, the last prayer, it's called Blani. It's about the difference between the Judaism and different religions, our God versus other. So we see, like in middle, so they, the non-Jews, they bow to emptiness and pray to a God that cannot help. And I don't know if all Hasidic people do it, but I know like my rabbi does it, some other people do. They spit when they say this. So you say, we talk about the other religions, and we say they, the non-Jews, they bow to emptiness and pray to a God that cannot help, and you spit on the floor. So yeah, this is basically the highlights of the prayer. Yeah, then we wrap this up, go back. So after you finish praying, go eat breakfast. Food in, it's not just in the Hasidic community, just in Judaism overall. Food is very restricted. It has a lot of laws, what you may, what you cannot eat. Yeah, so let's get into it. So everything you eat has to be kosher. Kosher means that it has to follow the Jewish religious laws. Everything you eat has to be approved and supervised by the rabbi. We'll see on like all the kosher food have like a symbol to show you. So this is like whatever cream cheese. It has it's like a kosher stamp. So every kosher item has to have the stamp. If you don't see the stamp on whatever food, you cannot eat it. But even with the kosher stamp and whatever, you can't eat everything. Meaning, there's some food that cannot be kosher. So, for example, meat. There's only like certain animals that you can eat. So like cows, sheep, goat, poultries like chicken, turkey, duck, no pork or any other like meat. The same is with seafood. So most seafood are not allowed. No shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters. The only fish we could eat is salmon fish and tuna. Could be something else, I'm not sure, but basically that. Also, you cannot eat any meat and dairy products together. You cannot even cook it together. So no cheeseburgers, butter with steak, pepperoni on pizza. You actually need a separate pots and dishes for meat and dairy products. Like most like everyone, although like Jewish people have like 2 kitchens at home, so like 2 separate counters, 2 separate sinks. One is for the like meat products, and one is for like dairy stuff. And there's actually a waiting time. So after you eat meat, you have to wait 6 hours until you can eat dairy. And the opposite way is just 30 minutes. You have to wait 30 minutes after you eat any dairy stuff until you can eat any meat. So like you can't have any turkey for dinner and like mac and cheese as a side because you have to wait 6 hours in between. If you do cook a steak together, then you have to throw, obviously you can't eat the food, but you have to throw out the pot, pan, whatever, dishes, anything that touch the food. Yeah, so basically as a Jew you cannot eat in like any non-Jewish restaurant. So like no McDonald's, no Starbucks, no Dunkin', no Burger King, like any of the non-Jewish, non-kosher like restaurants. Okay, you finished eating, headed to school. It's called yeshiva. Yeah, it's a little different than the usual school that you're used to. Yeshiva kind of looks like a synagogue, like kind of the same setup, and we basically, start school at whatever 8, 9, and we basically study the Talmud, the Jewish law books. That's basically what we do all day. So everyone has a partner, and you basically study with them. Like, it's divided. You could change partners in between. Depends, like every few hours, whatever. But you basically sit with your partner and study the first few hours. You do the Talmud, and then you change to the Jewish law book. But that's basically what we do all day until 9 o'clock at night. So that's basically our education. That's all we got. Yeshiva system usually goes until ages 18 or 19, because in the Hasidic community, most boys and girls, whatever, get engaged at 18. So the few leftover guys who didn't get engaged, you usually go to yeshiva in Israel. So there's a few big yeshivas in Israel, and you usually, if you aren't engaged or married at 19 or 20, you usually go there for a few years until you get married. I was actually there for 6 years probably. I went to Israel when I turned 19, and I was there until a half a year ago, so that's 6 years, something like that. The thing why we have to go is because in the Hasidic community you are not allowed to work before you're married. It's a bad thing. Someone who works before he's married, he's single and he works, is you get a bad name in the community. So you turn 19, 20, most of your friends are married, so they ship you off to Israel just because you can't work here locally in Brooklyn, so you gotta do something with you. But well, it's good. I actually enjoyed it there.
Es a ehrliche Jiden, ein guten Bein, die hat mich schmöre, und sich haben ein Computer, das hat nicht kein Filter. Auf du sie sicher, der es hat gesagt, ist nicht auf morgen tun es nicht schon, auf Nacht tun es nicht schon nicht.
So, the internet, I actually touched on this topic in the previous video, just some new add-ons. So I spoke about this in the previous video. The point, Hasidism is very different, from the outside world, and they want to keep it that way. They don't want you to be exposed to the outside world. You shouldn't get any bad ideas of different things. They don't want you to know. So that's why the internet is they call the internet the biggest threat to their existence, because the internet you can go anywhere to see anything. So that's the opposite of what they want. They want to keep you as close as they can. So that's why they're very strict. They have meetings and gatherings every few years to like update and like add new rules about technology. You know, gotta keep up to date with the technology. So it usually isn't like they rent out like a stadium, MetLife or whatever, and like all the Hasidic people come, and they like all the rabbis come, and they usually like whatever update and add on new like rules and guidance about like the internet. So you can only have a flip phone, such a phone, except as I mentioned in the last video, like if you need it for work, you can have a smartphone, but like with regulations, like it has to be filtered and whatever. But like besides work, even if you need it for work, you can only use your smartphone at work. But the other time, any other hour, if you go out, whatever, you have to use this. Like in the 1800s. Just want to touch a little on dating. So Hasidic boys and girls grow up like separated. So boys go to boys' schools, girls go to girls' school, and there's always like could be like any event or whatever in synagogue. It's always like in two different like floors or two different buildings. Besides like girls in your family, you cannot talk, touch, or even look at a random girl. So it's not like you could just meet a girl, have a girlfriend, or whatever. Dating has to be set up because you don't know any girls. So we have matchmakers. Basically, the day you turn 18, the matchmakers contact your like parents, the boy's parents and girl's parents. They like have their suggestions and whatever. And if the parents like the idea, then you move forward. Matches are made more based on the family and on the boy and girl. So it's like, what reputation this family has and that family has. That's all what matters. Like, they don't really care if the like boy and girl are meant for each other. So once the parents decide that they like the idea that like the matchmaker had, it's basically case closed. Like, you don't have any say. And then they set up like a blind date. We call it a basho. So it's usually in someone's house, like someone like a family member, and it's like in the dining room. So the boy comes in with his parents, the girl with her, and the boy sits on one side of the table, the girl on the other side, and they could talk. It usually lasts like an hour and a half. And if like neither the boy or the girl like has any like major issues or concerns, then it's a go. It's basically that is. But you could get like a second like follow-up date, the same like setup, and yeah, that's basically how you get engaged. But even after you're engaged, you cannot touch or even talk to the girl, to your fiance. You cannot even like have her number. after the show, the parents, like, you didn't have any issues, so the parents are basically close the deal, the engagement. Then you go home to your house, she goes home to hers, and you don't have any contact until the night of the wedding. Like, you cannot talk, meet, see her. The first time you can actually, like, even touch your fiance is on the wedding night. So Hasidic weddings are a little different than what you're used to see. So you have the men and the groom on one side on the ballroom, and the bride and the ladies, all the women on the other side. And there's like a divider, like a movable wall in between. But like, it's high enough you can't see over it. Yeah, that's basically the wedding. So the men on one side, the woman on the other. They dance separately. The men and women eat separately. Yeah, and after the wedding, the couple goes home for the first time. They go do whatever. Sex in Judaism is for the sole purpose of having children, not for pleasure or love. So that's why it's very regulated. I'm not gonna go into all the details of the rules. Just, you can only do what you need to do to have kids. Nothing extra. No positions. Light has to be closed. I'm just gonna say it like this. Most of the things that you do for pleasure is forbidden. So because you only do it to have kids, most Hasidic families have like 10 plus kids. There's also a thing called nida. It's like a period separation. So after a woman's period, couples are not allowed to have any physical contact for about 2 weeks. Because we're so closed and restricted growing up, like, we don't have any girlfriends, we can't talk to any girls. A lot of people in the community don't really know what sex is and like what you have to do. So a few weeks before your wedding, you go to a special rabbi, and he teaches you the basics, like, around sex, and also the rules and regulations, what you can do, what's not allowed, all around that. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Peace out.